Wake up YouTube, my name is Juice and welcome to another episode of the Juicy Ladder, where I will be releasing interesting battle videos I encounter as I struggle my way up the Showdown ladder. Now today I have an Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire OU match for you guys. Remember that if you enjoyed this video to like, comment, and subscribe. If you look at my team here, you'll see that I'm the one who's featuring the Mega-Metagross. Obviously I'm the team on the opposite side of the field. I also have, the Latios, the Rotom, Wash, the Scizor, the Breloom, and the Thundurus, and you'll notice that this team is somewhat similar to the one I ran with Mega-Gallade, the only difference being that I switched Gallade with Mega-Metagross, of course, and I switched Keldeo out for Latios, which I think was for the better. If you look at my opponent's team, he's running a team of Shinies, which is pretty cool, and I'll admit that when I first saw his team, after playing an OU for so long, my first thought was, okay, he's running that Mega-Gallade, better watch out for that. Not Mega-Gallade, I'm sorry, Mega-Gardevoir, better watch out for that. But it turns out he's actually running the Mega Sableye, which makes so much sense since this is Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Why would he run Mega-Gallade over a Mega-Gardevoir? I'm sorry, Mega-Gardevoir over Mega Sableye. So you'll see that this is going to bite me in the butt later. In fact, it's going to bite me in the butt right now. As he leads with the Sableye, I lead with my Thundurus. I figured he's probably just going to set up. I went for the taunt, and that got bounced right back. I was like, oh shit, this is the Mega Sableye. So I go ahead and drop a T-Bolt real quick since I figured, you know what, he probably doesn't want to, his special defense isn't that great. So that's good. I go ahead and switch out here into Rotom, predict another Sucker Punch, and I go ahead and Volt Switch right back out as he goes into his Slowbro. So that worked out nicely for me. I go ahead into Thundurus, and I figured nothing wanted to take a T-Bolt, so that is a dead Slowbro. That's a great way to start, even though I messed up with the Sableye there. Goes into Conkeldurr. And I figured that he would want to Mach Punch me here, so I went to Scizor, which wasn't really the most brilliant play to make. I could have switched right into Latios. There was no reason not to. I guess I just kind of wanted to scout out what Conkeldurr's moveset was. They went to Ferrothorn, and I went for the Draco instead of Psyshock because I was afraid of the Sableye coming back out. And then at this point I realized that I really didn't have anything for Ferrothorn, so throughout this game, Ferrothorn is just going to be a major pain in the butthole, and I would just have to sort of deal with him. So I go ahead and switch into Scizor here, and I figured that he probably wouldn't want to stay in because U-turn does do a good amount of Ferrothorn despite his bulk. So I went for the Defog here instead of U-turning, but he decided to stay and go for a Leech Seed. I was like, well, shit. So I go ahead and switch back out into my Thundurus. I figured he probably just want to set up some rocks again, and I went ahead and fired off my Focus Blast. And he switched into Gardevoir, predicting that nicely as I lose my Thundurus as a result. So that was a poor play on my part. I go into Metagross, and I figured, I don't really know what Gardevoirs do when they're not Mega, but it goes ahead and goes for Will-O-Wisp, and I was like, okay, well, that kind of just crippled my Metagross. But you'll see here that Metagross is actually quite the boss. This is why Mega-Metagross is so good. Even that burn, Meteor Mash keeps on boosting my attack, and I guess he thought he could wall me with Sableye, and get a Power-Up Punch and a Sucker Punch off on me. That doesn't work with Mega-Metagross. It doesn't. I just got 2 kills with the burn Mega-Metagross. But it goes into Talon and goes with a nice U-turn here, predicting my Rotom switch, and I go ahead and go for a Volt Switch, piecing out right here, and go into my Latios, and this time I go for the Psyshock, I believe. Oh no, I go for the Defog, that's right. I'm predicting his switch because this was the most opportune moment to get those rocks off my field. And I went ahead and switched back into Scizor, as this thing went for Gyro Ball, and I went for the U-turn this time, thinking that he would probably just want to set up some hazards, but he goes, I'm going to go for the Leech Seed instead, which I'm quite okay with. But now I'm going to Rotom, and I figured that he'd predict my Will-O-Wisp, so instead of going for Will-O-Wisp, I went for the Volt Switch on the Conkeldurr, and that worked out nicely for me as I out-predicted him. And this time I went for the Psyshock, since there was no reason to go for a Defog here. He goes in its Talon, I figured he probably just want a Brave Bird or U-turn. He goes with a U-turn, and that kills my Rotom, which is right into Ferrothorn. So this time I went for Will-O-Wisp, since there was no reason not to. And he goes for the Leech Seed as I go ahead and I think Volt Switch right back out here since there's no need to stay in. So now Ferrothorn is basically crippled. Even if he just wants to continuously Leech Seed me, I'm not really concerned. I go into Rotom here, thinking that he would just stay in and stack it, but he actually goes into Talonflame, which was a very nice move on his part. Had I gone for Focus Punch, this wouldn't have been such, a predicament, but I realized that Talonflame could very well sweep my team if I'm not careful. So I go ahead and go to Rotom here since no one else really wants to face a Talonflame, and as he goes into Ferrothorn, I go ahead and Volt Switch the heck out of here. Back into Mega-Metagross, I believe, so I can just finish off this Ferrothorn. And he goes into Talon here, and I figured that this thing could sweep my team, but he would have to roost, because if he doesn't, he would die to recoil and life orb. So I go ahead and just put a lot of offensive pressure on Talonflame. I don't want to give him a chance to have his HP at all, especially with Breloom. I figured that he would want to roost at this point since he wouldn't be able to Brave Bird with me without dying. So I go ahead and go for the Spore here and a Substitute, and I just pray to the Hax Lords now that he stays asleep while Breloom gets his nice Mach Punches off, which he gets one Focus Punch, and I was like, yes, that's how we do, Breloom, that's how we do, and Talonflame stays asleep. So I was like, that's game. I got my second Focus Punch off, Talonflame is gone, GG, man. And yeah, that's a game. Good game, Ben. That Sableye really got me there right in the beginning. But yeah, I now know that in ORAS, so watch out for those, and that does make sense in hindsight. Definitely a good match. Mega-Metagross is definitely power. I've been trolling around a lot in ORAS OU with Mega-Metagross, that one, and Mega Salamence. Maybe I'll do a video on Mega Salamence next time. And so yeah, remember, if you guys enjoyed this video, to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to check out Hunter's videos. He does a ladder climb as well. And as usual, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.